We're back.
I was going to say, welcome back.
I'm Dana.
I'm Dallas.
And we are Double D's Dishing the Dirt. What a week. Welcome back. I'm so excited.
Yes, I'm sorry, guys. We had a crazy,
Very busy.
Yeah.
Very packed full. I did just run the Broad Street Run. If anybody is listening and also ran it, congratulations.
Yeah, congrats to everybody. You guys killed it.
Great weather.
Yeah.
Perfect conditions.
We're back with a request.
How exciting.
Yeah.
We got our first request. Also, if you're listening and you have a request or you want to hear, about something about a topic that you may also be interested in, let us know. DM us. Comment.
Yeah. We see
Also
all
like
that,
and
so.
share. We want to grow this community. So the more that we hear back from you guys and feedback is always welcome. So.
And nothing's too small. We'll talk about anything. It's fun to research new topics and
yeah, something we haven't thought about, which is also what we've discussed in previous podcasts, learning something new.
Yes.
That's what we want to do. So today's topic, super fun, super interesting, and something that you are very interested in.
Yes, cryptids. I freaking love Mothman. One of our coworkers found out and got me a little stuffed Mothman for my birthday. I was on the hunt for Mothman stuff while at the World Oddity Expo in Philly. I didn't get anything. Saved my money. I actually bought a ton of stuff.
We love being frugal.
But nothing Mothman related. What about you? Got any cryptids on your mind?
Oh, just the whole thing with cryptids is like, do you believe it or not? There's science out there and scientists, which I did have to look up. I'm not going to lie, because I was like, is there a study of this?
Yeah.
And there is. There is. Big gasp. Big whoa.
And the thing is that you can believe in them and they span across different parts of the world, see cryptids, like the same cryptid as different in different lights.
Yeah, we were just talking about this. So Bigfoot and Sasquatch,
and
Bigfoot versus Sasquatch and Yeti.
Yes.
And we were talking earlier about how Yeti is technically,
I think they're all independent, but I think they're under the same branch.
Yeah, of creature.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Of cryptid, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it just depends on what region you're from. I think Northeast sees a lot of Bigfoot and Sasquatch reports, but
yeah, I think it's so cool. Oh, Abominable Snowman. That's what I was thinking.
Yes.
Yeah, Yeti and Abominable Snowman. And not the one that we're thinking of in Monsters, Inc.
Yeah, that's what
I
think of
doubt that creature out there is serving little slushies on a tray.
Yeah, I did a few different research. Obviously, I did a lot of Pennsylvania-based research for cryptids that are local to our area, but I also did some research on Mothman, so it's up to you if you want to start with world-renowned cryptids or local.
I mean, let's do world renown and then go into it.
Okay, I'll start with Mothman. I know you looked up some other ones. Mothman, he's got quite a tale. He is seen around the world, but his first sighting was originally in North Virginia. So, close.
Yeah.
People believed that the purpose of Mothman is to warn about disasters. He's often seen before disasters. He was seen before a mine collapse in Freiburg, Germany.
Okay, so you don't want to see this creature.
You do, because he's a warning. He's not bringing the disaster.
Okay.
He was seen before Chernobyl, before 9/11, and the Minnesota bridge collapse.
Where was he seen in 9/11? Before 9/11?
He was flying near the towers. There's photos of him. It is so, I don't want to say cool. It sounds messed up. It is so interesting. Yeah, you have to look it up. And it's his silhouette. But that brings me to different descriptions of Mothman.
Okay.
The name Mothman is kind of not accurate. He does have wings, but they actually believe that he's derived of a barn owl.
Oh.
More so than a moth.
So, maybe, better vision?
Yeah, well, they're
I'm
saying that his
assuming
face...
an owl would, have better vision.
They're saying that he looks nothing like a moth, but a humanoid owl. So he has, like a beak feature.
What?
Yes, he looks nothing like that little black character that you're going to see in our Instagram post. He's about 7 feet tall with a wingspan of 10 to 15 feet or more. He's a beast.
That's massive.
Yeah.
He's a big boy.
And he can fly over 100 miles an hour. They say that he doesn't actually have those red glowing eyes. But
wait, stop.
They're more reflective.
Mothman Festival?
Oh, yes.
What?
Guys, cryptids get so much attention. Yeah.
Wait, there's a Yeti Festival.
Yes.
Guys, my mind is blown. I'm actually shook.
My last little fact is, apparently if you see Mothman, well, this actually makes sense. They say that if you get a close look at Mothman, you suffer from extreme fear and psychological distress, which makes sense because usually if you're seeing him, you're also involved in a disaster. So
that's so crazy.
But he's not seen as a bad guy. He has this bad rap. He's a good guy, Dana, I promise.
He's a good cryptid.
Yeah, and they just feel like he gets a bad rap. But they think that he's actually appears in these places to warn people. I think that ties into the barn owl. That they think that somebody may have mistaken a barn owl for him, but to mistake a barn owl as a 7-foot man, I have some questions.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Didn't know that. Also didn't know there was a festival dedicated to this.
There's a lot.
Yeah. Well, now that I'm reading about it, how insane is that?
I know that you said that you did some research on Nessie. You want to hit us with some?
Well, only for the sake that when we were first introduced to this topic, I was like, what do you mean cryptid? Because I didn't know that was an overall title for these creatures. I'm not going to lie to you. And I also didn't know that, was it cryptozoology?
Yes.
Zoology.
Yeah.
That's a thing, guys. It's a thing. It's a real thing. And
it's so cool to dedicate your life to looking, researching incidents where people see these cryptids.
I don't know. Whenever I go places or look up places that I want to travel to, one of the things that I'm look into is the lore of that place, or something that has a significance to it
that draws. Yeah.
And part of Scotland is the Loch Ness Monster,
Nessie,
also known as Nessie. And as soon as I heard that, I don't know if anybody listening has watched
I know where she's going with this.
The movies of Twilight.
Yep. You named my daughter after the Loch Ness Monster?
Nessie. That's the name of Bella and Edward's child.
Yes.
At least the nickname for her given by
Jacob.
Which we know is Taylor Lautner. So when I read that that's the actual nickname, it was kind of funny. But yeah, it has the Loch Ness Monster itself has roots in ancient Scottish folklore, with reports of a monster in Loch Ness dating back to the 7th century. So a long, long time ago. It was described as a large, long-necked creature, often with humps protruding from the water. It has approximately been seen multiple times and has been spotted and put in papers, which I'm sure many of our viewers and listeners have probably seen these pictures. Enthusiasts have debunked them multiple times, but other more, I guess, better believers have come forward and said, no, it's absolutely it. It is absolutely the Loch Ness Monster. Though it is a monster and a large marine creature, it avoids human contact and just lives in Loch Ness.
She just chills. What's interesting is the research for Pennsylvania, there's an instance of a similar cryptid.
Nessie?
Yeah. So
we love a PA Nessie?
Maybe we're discovering that Nessie and the creek monster are not actually monsters, but long forgotten beings.
I kind of love that.
Yeah.
I just think it's fun. You know, with anything, like, when you go into reading a book and it's a little bit, like,
fantasy-ish.
Yeah, it has some fantasy aspects to it. You get so involved in that book because it takes you away from real life.
Yeah.
Sometimes cryptid are just that for people. You know, like, believing in something that's not typical what you see every day. Like, I'm sure there was no giraffe in that lake when a photo was taken. You know, like, I'm sure that's not what that was. And who knows what it could be, but it's the fun of thinking about it.
Yeah, and it gives people a passion. People go out to these sightings and do deep research on how a cryptid could be alive in this environment, or what, like, trying to debunk it as well.
Yeah, there's literally a Loch Ness museum.
Yeah.
Like, should you go to Scotland, visit the museum.
Yeah.
Like, that's fun.
I know Josh Gates has been out there a couple of times trying to debunk and or prove the existence of the Loch Ness Monster. I just watched an interesting episode about the Loch Ness Monster. They played, like, a sound they believed that it would make.
Mm-hmm.
And they had a response. It was crazy. Yeah.
Stop, that's so fun. That's so cool.
But
okay, give us some more. What other ones do we have?
Do you have any international? Did you do some on Bigfoot? You got some Bigfoot?
Well, I mainly did Chupacabra because I
hit us with a Chupacabra.
I really like saying that name.
Chupacabra is
it is Latin American,
right?
A monstrous creature. Again, they describe
like a dog,
a monstrous creature, but it's just being big, like essentially monstrous.
Basically, monstrous is just I feel like it's more of like an unknown.
Yeah, and it's said to attack animals and consume their blood.
Yum.
Fun. So apparently, it's derived from the Spanish words chupar, which is to suck, and cabra, which is goat.
Yes.
And can be translated as goat sucker.
Yeah. Are they found mostly in Mexico?
Yep. They are characterized as the southern equivalent of the Sasquatch.
Interesting.
I know.
Maybe it's just the sense of a cryptid.
Probably. Blood-sucking creatures versus the Sasquatch, like, I don't know. The earliest reports of the Sasquatch were describing it as a creature that could stand upright and resembled a large reptilian kangaroo with huge red eyes.
That sounds scary.
But no actual specimens have been found, but there have been many witnesses. And then there was a horror movie, I guess, that was based off of Chupacabra called Species, which came out in 1995. So if you're interested, take a look at that. Get your popcorn ready. But as we said earlier, they were generally canine in appearance, but hairless. So hairless cat meets hairless dog.
I was like, there's a hairless dog.
Meets that's true. A hairless dog
but like big,
massive.
Okay.
They were identified by biologists as coyotes, dogs, or canine hybrids.
Which is interesting, yeah.
Yeah. And they normally attacked, like, large groupings of animals.
Yeah, so like farm life.
Livestock, lots of sheep. A lot of farmers lost their sheep.
Do you know what they have in southwestern states that kind of resembles Chupacabra?
No, what?
The skinwalkers.
I hear that term all the time.
Do you know what they are?
No. I don't. Well, I like have a good idea, but at the same time, tell me more.
But what skinwalkers can do, so they're called skinwalkers because they can take on forms. So, like, people have instances where they'll let their dog out and the dog will come back to the door and it's not their dog. Like, skinwalkers can, like, take the form of...
No.
Yes.
No.
I don't think that they're technically a cryptid. I feel like maybe, but...
That's wild.
But, like,
are they
kill...
an entity or, like, a creature?
I think they're like a creature. They kill, I know they kill livestock. I know that's what, like, there's Skinwalker Ranch. That's a show. That's a show.
That's
I think on Discovery.
Wild.
Yeah.
Is it one of those things where it's like you speak it into you speak it into happening to you?
Dude, these shows are so fucking scary. I can't watch them because I literally start questioning my whole life and it makes me so scared. But they're so interesting. It's so interesting to learn about.
Oh, I see. It's a Navajo mythology.
Yes.
There's another name for it, but I will not attempt to pronounce that. So if you are interested in looking at the other name for it, please go ahead and look it up.
But do you see, like, they
call him an evil witch.
Interesting.
Who is feared for their ability to cause misfortune and harm.
Right.
They have the power to transform into animals, particular coyotes, wolves, owls, or crows to inflict damage. And they are very often blamed for illnesses, deaths, and other unexplained events. So what I'm seeing is, like, I guess the lore of cryptids are, like, each cryptid has their own... I don't want to say juju, like bad juju, but it's more like their symbol, like they're representative of something.
Yeah.
Like either misfortune and bad or death or...
Okay, they don't have to, okay? I have one from PA and it's just existing. I don't think it has a purpose.
Oh, well, but maybe I'd dig that big.
Most do, like...
Looks like the Navajo are generally reluctant to share details about skinwalkers with outsiders to protect their sacred practices and prevent the misuse of powerful knowledge.
The show's insane. They just basically, like, look for, like Josh Gates, just proving that these creatures exist and how to identify them. It's really interesting. Yeah, it's called Skinwalker Ranch. They're on, like, season 5. But
interesting. Never heard of it, but now I have.
But that just, like, that's what made me think, because you're saying the coyotes and stuff. Like, what if it's not these chupacabras, if it's something else as well?
I like that, though. I also like the fact that, again, a lot of these things, what I found was, like, a lot of these cryptids are described as being monstrous.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But they are very clearly in the science of cryptozoology described as the complete opposite of monsters.
Yeah, a lot of them have no interaction with people. If anything, they're scared of people. I mean, minus the chupacabras who are out there wrecking havoc.
And a lot of people dedicated to this, like dedicated to the science, go out and find fossils. Yeah. And like, it's an actual thing. Like when I was like, oh wow, people can study that. I wasn't like, wow, they are archaeologists and do this for a living and find other people that are interested in it and study it and build a community off of it. Like, it's some deep diving. Yeah. Like, they go into historical...
It's a big culture, too.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah.
I kind of love it, though. Do you want to get into PA ones? I'm so excited.
We can. I have a relative of a Bigfoot here. It is called the Alba Twitch.
Oh.
It's in Pennsylvania Dutch folklore. They call him the apple snitch or apple elf, which is the direct translation from German. It means Alba Twitch means apple elf. So he's a little smaller than a traditional Bigfoot. He's only 4 to 5 feet tall, and he's got reddish brown hair and yellow eyes.
4 or 5 feet.
Okay, Dana's short.
I was gonna say, am I?
So he is seen at the Chickies Rock along the Susquehanna. All of these are along the Susquehanna River. Like,
okay.
So they say don't mistake him for a juvenile Bigfoot. Apparently, that's a common thing that you could see, I guess.
Okay, so be careful when you're categorizing your cryptids.
But he has more of a neck, and he's, like, skinnier. He's more, like, human-like than a Bigfoot is traditionally described as, because they're usually, like, really tall.
Mm-hmm.
So this guy just... Alba Twitch is chill. He steals apples, and he'll take them from, like, picnics, like, where people are having picnics, and throw them at people. Like, he is just an absolute menace.
Oh my God. Sure.
Yes. Our little German.
No food fights in the forest.
But he's just chilling.
I wonder if they know how much groceries cost.
Yeah, right. Well, there's a lot of apple trees out there, and the Pennsylvania Dutch got tons of apples. So.
Granny Smith better hold on to her apples, man.
there's been a few sightings of the albatwitch. They also have a festival.
Really?
Yes.
Never heard of this. This is so fun.
Going down the list, one of the counties in PA have an official monster. They're like one of the only counties that have an official monster. Yeah, he's pretty cool. But moving on, there's a cryptid called the squonk.
Okay.
So he's in the hemlock forest of northern PA, and he's sad.
He's sad.
He's sad.
What do you mean by sad? Like he feels emotion? Like
he's weeping constantly. That's his gist. So what he looks like is a saggy-skinned pig, and he's covered in warts. Yeah. And he just cries.
Oh, no.
And it's so tragic. But he does have a power. This is the first we're hearing about, like, magical powers with cryptids. I mean, minus Mothman flying, but when he's being hunted, he can turn into a puddle. So, like, people have caught the squonk, and when they get back to wherever they're taking him, the bag is just full of water.
What?
Yeah.
So people have actually caught this creature, is what you're telling me. It's not just
reports
like
say
a sighting. Okay.
That. Okay. Well, they can't prove it because when they get back to where they're going, the squonk is just a...
Okay, not gonna lie, I like the...
Do you see him? He's so cute.
I like him a squonk.
That's his name! I'm gonna call him a squonk. But also they say, like, when he's described, so...
Squonkapalooza.
Like a pig, and then, like, sometimes his back leg will be clear.
Chase, this is not cute.
That's so cute.
That's so cute. Creature is not cute. Saggy skin.
Saggy skin pig, guys. He's just... And he's always crying. He's always depicted just sobbing.
This is not cute.
That's so cute. Dana, if I saw that, I'd be like, come home.
No.
Guys, he's cute. Like, imagine, like, you know...
Well, Chase and I are not taking a trip out to Hemlock.
You know that dog? What's that dog? Like a mastiff, kind of, but more wrinkly. Oh, Neapolitan mastiffs.
You know,
big wrinkly dog.
You know what? To me, this is like a naked mole rat. That's been like,
that is kind of the vibe, but like way bigger.
Like bigger than that, and like way more wrinkly skin, and with weird ears. I just think it's snout.
So that's like, cute that this man's just crying. Like, why are people trying to hunt him? He's just living his
toes. Are you kidding me?
Well, yeah, because he's water, Dana. Water animals have web toes.
Wow, you actually blew my mind. I didn't think about that.
Yeah,
unhappy and morbid.
Yeah, because look at him.
Most active at twilight or dusk. Interesting.
Yeah, the squonk, you know?
Okay, I will not be traveling to the Hemlock Forest for this. There's squonk hunts!
Yes, but you can't hunt him because when he's scared, he turns into a puddle of water.
There are hunters dedicated for squonk hunting.
Now imagine next time you step in a puddle, squonk. Dana's never going to step in a puddle again.
I am flabbergasted right now. Looking at photos of this thing, like, oh, what is that? I just pulled up a photo.
Not on the Etsy.
Can you order us one? That says Etsy, and you can order a squonk. Guys, I might have to do it. I might have to do this. I'm pulling up this page right now. Can I link this to our feed? Because at this point... Oh, never mind.
Okay,
it
guys.
Says $136 to pay for a squonk. 3 left!
Dana, when I make the post for this, I'll include photos of each cryptid.
Oh, perfect.
But
so you can see what we see.
Just remind me what I need. I need Mothman and Chupacabra, Loch Ness. Why am I saying it out loud? I'm not going to re-listen to this.
Trace, I'm sending you this squonk.
Thank you.
Link.
Yeah, I'm not going to buy $100 squonk.
It's $136 to be exact.
Okay.
This version is cute, but the photos of this folklore is...
She's not going to leave the squonk alone. He's such a sad man.
I'm going to leave that man be. You know? Live and let be. Live and let be.
Okay, guys. Up next, we have our Loch Ness sister, the Kettle Creek Monster. It has multiple names.
I feel like I did hear about that.
Did heard about it.
Did hear.
It's also called the West Branch Dugong and the Susquehanna Seal.
Susquehanna Seal.
So it's actually in Lock Haven. which brings us to Clinton County, which is where our official monster is, which is not the Kettle Creek Monster. You'll hear about that next. So, the Kettle Creek Monster is described as a marine animal or sea monster with the bulk of an ox or hippo. So we're talking about like a big...
Yeah.
Big boy.
Big body.
I think unlike Nessie, the Kettle Creek is more bulky.
Seems like it's also been called the Susquehanna mystery thing.
Yes. So what does the Kettle Creek Monster get up to? Horrible howling and thrashing at night.
Is that why it says right here, be mindful of the noise?
Yes. So yeah. What it does is howls all night, and it's blamed for spilling or capsizing the lumber rafts.
Oh!
Yes. So, right now, this was in the past, there has been no sightings of Susquehanna seal. They think that it went underground, like into underground caves, or just disappeared.
Went extinct.
Yeah. But
sad.
Ugh. But I'm sure there's festivals for it out there. But maybe not, because Clinton County has an official monster.
No.
Our Geewoggle, which I showed you earlier.
Oh.
The Geewoggle looks like a raccoon that stands on its back feet and has claws. I think it's adorable.
Geewoggle.
Yeah, Giwoggle.
I have to look at a picture again. Oh, that's right. You did show me this thing. This thing with the long nails that I was like, this guy got to go and get
It's not mean.
Done.
It's not mean. So the Geewoggle is 6 feet tall, shaped like a wolf, and it stands on its back legs. Instead of front paws, it has bird claws. Those are the big claws you're talking about. And instead of back feet, it has horse hooves. Why? Why you want to ask?
I think this thing is cute.
Why you want to ask? Why does it have horse hooves? So people can't track it. It's got claws and talons and
incognito mode.
Yes. So the Geewoggle is not naturally occurring, unfortunately. That is why it's not found all over the world, because the witches of Susquehanna had conjured this being to harass farmers. So the Geewoggle is oftentimes just annoying and does petty vandalism. They just trample crops and do tracks around the barn to confuse the farmers about like what's destroying their crops. Because
artificial werewolf creature.
Well, yeah, it's artificial because the wolves conjured it. I mean, the witches conjured it. Werewolves are naturally occurring, Dana. So
yeah.
But it's not a werewolf because it's not even really a wolf. I mean, it is, but it's got horse legs.
They just like to do petty vandalism and annoying stunts.
Yeah. Just a teenage kid.
I was going to say, just like a juvenile.
The Geewoggle is nothing more.
Are we sure it's not just kids out there?
No, I believe in the witches. That's a different topic, but
so does our coworker.
But I believe that they could have conjured this to harass the farmers who were bullying them.
So it looks like fear just came through after when the panic of the Jersey Devil.
Yes, when the Jersey Devil came into fruition, people started to think negatively about the Geewoggle, whatever.
Gotcha. Okay.
They call strays. They're just chilling. They weren't created for that.
Okay. Interesting.
But that's the official monster of Clinton County.
And that's the only one that has their official monster.
That I saw, yes.
Interesting. That was a lot for PA.
Yeah. There's more too, but these are like the prominent ones within Dutch folklore.
Oh, hit me with them. I want to know.
I don't have any on me.
Oh.
But we have our own forms of Bigfoot. I feel like PA has a lot of sightings just because of the mountains.
I was going to say, we have a lot of wooded areas, so it makes sense to have a lot more entities or creatures or folklore about that. Like our industry in wood and woodlands and also mushrooms. And I'm assuming there's got to be one about mushrooms in there somewhere.
I'm sure there is. Having a lot of different cultures as well contributes to the different cryptids or folklore beings that
I want to know which state has the most cryptids, because our list was pretty long, but I wonder.
I feel like states that have a big Native American population.
I'm looking at it now, and it says West Virginia.
Well, that's where. Oh no, that was North Virginia.
Mothman sightings.
Is North Virginia a thing? I'm making stuff up right now. I guess Northern Virginia.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Additionally, states like Texas, Florida, New York, California, and Washington.
Oh, Florida's got the swamp creatures. Texas is surprising. But
Florida says it also has sightings of El Chupacabra.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's what's going to be my Texas. I'm sure Texas has chupacabras, too.
Yeah, probably. Washington is very well known for their a specific area of Bigfoot sightings.
Washington has vampires. Another Twilight.
I love how PA does come up for the squonk. That is rated like number 2 on PA's.
I don't think the squonk has a purpose either. Even you reading it, you did not mention a purpose that the squonk has. No. He just is.
And it is scary looking.
No. Take it back. Just because it looks different doesn't mean it's scary, Dana.
Okay. We are talking about a creature that resembles a hairless dog.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of loosey-goosey skin.
Yeah.
And just very unappealing to the eye.
Yeah.
The squonk would make me cry.
Don't be to the squonk,
I'm sorry. Hey. But hey, I mean, it's to teach their own, and it's also, do you believe or do you not believe? Are you a believer or are you not a believer? Is this something that like interests you to a point where you're just like, I need to know more about this squonk creature. I need to know if I stepped on a puddle and stepped on this thing. I need to know.
She needs to know if she stepped on a squonk.
How many children the Bigfoot must have that through decades now, there is still a Bigfoot.
That's what I'm wondering. Yeah, is Bigfoot immortal, or like, are there multiple?
Are there Bigfoot? Baby Bigfoot?
Big feet? Are there big feet?
Are there multiple big feet? That is a good question. Like, do they just get old and die, or do they have to be killed?
That was a speculation about Mothman too. Is there one Mothman, or are there multiple? It was established, I think there's only one Mothman.
Don't moths like have like big groupings though? Like, aren't they like accumulative? I don't know.
I think there's only one Mothman because he can fly 100 miles an hour. So like,
the flash of the
He's
sky.
only ever seen flying up though. Like he doesn't like flap his wings when he's flying. He like coasts. I did a flapping motion.
I am a paper airplane floating through the sky. That's crazy that it was seen before 9/11 though.
Did you look up the photo?
That. Yes, I did. All I saw was that like dark creature.
Well, just what people believe to be Mothman.
I see.
Yeah,
there's also that one.
Wow, that's an attractive Mothman.
I'm sorry. This one has like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pack of abs.
Yeah, hot.
Oh. The wings are pretty cool. Not gonna lie. Oh, it's a statue. This 6-pack of abs of Mothman is a statue.
What's wild is, that is not in any case how Mothman is described. He has never once been described as a man with a 6-pack. Yeah, that's like, so yeah, sometimes he's described as not having a head. He'll just have the eyes in his chest. So like that, like what she's holding, he doesn't have a head.
Are you kidding me? Is this like a headless horseman?
Because you have to remember, they think that he's an owl. And they don't usually have descended necks. So owls are more like compact.
Interesting. That's an interesting one. Okay. Which brings me, now that I mention it, Headless Horseman is not a cryptid. But
no, he's just a myth, story, fable.
Oh.
I'll choose the word fable.
That's a...
Fable will have to be a good topic.
You know what? Yeah. Yeah.
Is he a fable? I'd consider him a fable. Like a fable is like a made up, like a fictional story.
is a popular figure in folklore and literature, often depicted as a ghostly. I know what he is, but like, what is he?
Yeah, I think he's just he's a fable, which is weird because you think.
Oh my gosh, there's another version of the Headless Horseman in Ireland.
Yes.
In Irish folklore, the Dullahan is a demonic fairy, often riding a black horse and carrying his head under his arm.
Oh.
Wow. I never knew that there were so many different variations of the same entity.
Before we end, can you hit us with a description of cryptid?
Oh, right. I guess we could have done that.
Just because I want to see if there's any distinguishable characteristics between.
Yeah. So, a cryptid is described as a creature whose reported existence is unproven, typically found in folklore, urban legends, or cryptozoology. The examples that it ultimately gives are Bigfoot, the Loch Ness Monster, and the Jersey Devil. While some cryptids might be based on misidentified or misremembered animals, others are entirely fictional.
So the Headless Horseman. Well, I guess because so the Irish version or the Scottish version would be a cryptid because it's a fairy, right?
Well, yeah, it also just seems like cryptids are mostly animals, like an animal type related being.
Yes.
Whereas, like, I feel
like
the Headless Horseman is like a human base, like, you know?
Yeah, like, that's what I'm saying. Aside from, that's why the fairy one would be more likely to be a cryptid than the person, which is why Mothman is not a person, guys. Stop depicting him as such. He's a cryptid.
Yeah. It looks like, again, cryptids are creatures claimed to exist in the wild, but lack scientific confirmation, often rooted in folklore.
I think the word creatures is very...
I know. While folklore is a broader term encompassing cultural traditions, stories, and myths, including those about cryptids.
Okay. So cryptid is basically any being from folklore.
Yeah.
That is not proven to exist.
And folklore is like the traditional beliefs, customs, stories of a culture that have been passed down.
And then fables would be like stories from that culture. Interesting.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. Let us know if any of the cryptids that we spoke about today are some that you've either been super interested in.
Yeah.
Or seen. We love a good sighting.
Let us know if you've seen a squonk.
If you go out there and you purposely look for a squonk, please share your story.
Guys, let's do a trip to the Hemlock Forest. We're simply going to look for a squonk.
No.
I'm also open to look for a gewoggle.
It is literally tick season, and I'm not out here trying to get eaten alive, looking for a hairless dog-like creature that only wants to cry. That is what my bedroom is.
It's a pig. It's not a dog, it's a pig.
I don't need to cry in a forest.
Okay, guys. I think that's it for today's episode. I think we're going to try to record burnouts this week if Dana's ready.
Yeah.
If she's not burnt out, which she is because
I'm
holy
burnout, you know?
cow, it's chaos here.
It is really chaos.
But I think we're going to try to record burnout tomorrow.
Yeah. And again, let us know if there's a topic that you're interested in or if you really enjoyed this topic. We want to hear feedback. It helps us grow as well. And also, you know, if we missed any cryptids that you were like,
oh, we definitely missed a bunch, but
this was a really important one and I can't believe you didn't say it.
Some of them are just really hyped up, like Bigfoot. And so I want to bring light on others.
Yeah.
But
I mean, Lord knows I did not know about this one.
Squonk.
I can. That's just a fun word to say.
It's going to be Dana's vocal stim.
I might have a vocal stim of that for the rest of the day.
Okay.
But anyway, thank you so much for being with us.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in.
And we are, again, Double D, Dishing the Dirt. See you soon.
See ya.